So this is my first freeway drive with my updated tune from Boxeer. Temperature's just a little bit below 180, which is good. Oil pressure, all that shit's good. The exhaust gas temps are at like 800 when there's 0 to 3 pounds of boost being used. Very little boost, but it's running the exhaust gas temps way up. I don't understand that one. And then the other thing, when I floored it, the turbo, once it gets above 15 pounds, the boost gauge was like tripping balls. I'll see if I can record that one here. But other than that, let's see. Let's floor it. 70, floored, more than 18 pounds. Wow. 80. Yeah, it's definitely a lot fucking slower on the freeway now. My top end boost is gone. So that's a disappointment. Some updating is still needed. Boost is stable now, but it's definitely a lot slower on the freeway.
So you're a solid 1.5 off the ground, at least. Oh yeah. Oh man, this guy.
It's the same thing.
Same thing as what?
It's a 25-pound can, right?
Yeah.
There's no liter.
Well, it's the same thing, though.
Figure I learn how this works from you guys before I have to go to South America and figure it out.
Might as well.
Oh, wow. That's it. That's it? That's it. 2.5 gallons? That's it. Okay. Well, they're supposed to be 3-gallon tanks, so. Did you just spill that in like 10 seconds? Yeah. That's awesome. So, I'm currently driving over to a friend's house because he thinks he might have a boost hose for silicone intake boost hose, because I found a substantial leak in one of my hoses, and I just got on the freeway and was accelerating and I heard poof, and now I have no boost at all. So one of those hoses just blew loose back there. Luckily his house is 4 miles away, so I'm just gonna make it down there with no boost and get it fixed in his driveway. Ha! I don't know if you can hear it on the video. Funny air leak. I just pulled over on the on-ramp and looked, and the boost pipe came off of the intercooler, so it's just blowing it straight to atmosphere. And the van's pissed. Look at it, 25 miles an hour with no turbo. Well, the turbo's just venting to atmosphere, but yeah, 25 miles an hour. This is slow. I have 2 miles to go to my destination. I'll just take it easy. So here we go. I tried to, aluminum ducting tape is airtight and temperature resistant, but apparently it's also slippery because that came right off the intercooler and that no worky. So let's see what we can do. Well, last night I drove up to the top of Snoqualmie Pass just to check it out, see how the new tune would do on the freeway. It did pretty darn good going up the pass. New tune, new glow plugs, and it's still smoking. I don't know what's up with that. So I'm gonna check the injectors and the compression and see what else I can find. I've been running a little bit of automatic transmission fluid in the fuel tank to help clean out the fuel system, and the Webasto got pissed off. It would not run on ATF. It gave me a error, it just shut off. So we had no heater last night. It's kind of snowing, kind of raining, but we're gonna get out of here, head back down the mountain so I can work on Otis version 2 today. There's Washington for you. Sunny as shit. I'm pouring ass rain. So if we can hear over the suctioning noise, I had these snap-on pinch-off pliers blocking the flow of this hose completely. But what I did now is I took it off and I took a couple other pieces of hose and put them inside of this hose so that it's very small, smaller than my finger inside. And now I'm just putting some vacuum pressure and kind of sucking all the hoses flat, making sure there's no air in this system and seeing if it'll take any more coolant. So I think we'll just shut it off there at 10 and let it sit for a minute, and then I'm gonna add some more coolant back. Got the good old G12 ready to rock. Okay, so today I've been having issues with the engine temperature where it runs about 160 degrees around town and 180 degrees when I'm pulling a hill really hard, and it shouldn't have such a wild fluctuation. So I actually got the hose flow, the coolant flow diagram for the 2012 Jetta TDI, and I'm making, the only real change I'm making is that this little overflow was capped off and I'm adding it. I changed the cap to one with an overflow nipple so that I can have a little air bleed right there, and then this hose I'm changing to what the factory hose is. You can see it'll move it down and out of the way because changing my oil is a pain in the butt with that hose right there. But that doesn't really change how the coolant's flowing, so I haven't found anything where the coolant flow is actually routed wrong, and I'm not sure why it's having such extreme temperature fluctuations. Stay tuned. So this is the factory hose that's supposed to run. It'll run kind of over and around instead of directly over the top of that, so I can change the oil. And then I did the coolant flow reducer trick. So you guys can't even, there we go. See how small that is in there? I put a piece of hose inside of a piece of hose inside of this hose. Slow the flow down, and we'll see if that works or what it does. Makes it better or worse. We're gonna find out. So back in August of last year, when I was going to Watershed and I put my brake pad on the rotor backwards, I've been driving around with it like that ever since. Let's see what the pad's a little chewy. Yeah. Oh wow, that pad's smooth and that pad's really chewy. Okay, so I'm gonna walk across. On the other side of that building right there is a place that can surface my brake rotor for me for a few bucks. So I'm gonna take it off and give it to those guys. So just for future reference, when you install brake pads, they both need to face each other. That's the correct way. Don't put it on backwards like I did last time. Here's the recently resurfaced rotor. And get this slammed back together and good to go. Alright, well, wrapped up. I just got to put the tools away, but nice shiny resurfaced brake rotor with a new pad. Should be good to go now.